Every year, the federal government spends millions of dollars crash testing vehicles, rating their structures, and publishing the results for free. And every year, the average car buyer completely ignores them. They walk onto a dealer lot, fall in love with a paint color, and drive home in something that scored 3 stars in a side impact test. Meanwhile, vehicles that the NHTSA gave perfect 5-star ratings across the board are sitting on used lots right now for under $5,000 because nobody remembers they exist. I have been a mechanic for over 20 years, and I am about to show you 5 cars the government literally rated among the safest and most structurally sound vehicles ever tested. And every single one of them can be yours for less than a decent used motorcycle. I saved the best for number 1 because that car, in my professional opinion, is the single greatest value in the entire used car market. Let us get into it. Number 5. The Buick LeSabre from 2000 to 2005. This is the car your grandfather drove, and he was smarter than all of us. The NHTSA gave the LeSabre 5 stars in frontal crash protection and 5 stars in side crash protection across multiple model years. That is a perfect score from the federal government on structural integrity. You can buy one right now for between $1,500 and $4,000, depending on mileage and condition. Nobody wants them because they look like a car a retired accountant would drive to church. And that is exactly why they are so cheap. A woman came into my shop last summer, a single mom with 2 kids and a budget of $3,000. She had been looking at beat-up Altimas and high-mileage Focuses, and everything she test drove had something wrong with it. I told her to find a LeSabre. She looked at me like I had lost my mind. 2 weeks later, she came back in a 2003 Buick LeSabre Custom she picked up for $2,800 with 124,000 miles. That car had the 3800 Series 2 V6 under the hood. If you know anything about engines, you already know where this is going. The 3800 is widely regarded by mechanics as one of the top 5 most reliable engines General Motors ever produced. It is naturally aspirated, port fuel injected, and it uses a timing chain that lasts the life of the engine. No belt to replace, no turbo to fail, no direct injection carbon buildup. I have personally seen 3800 engines run past 300,000 miles on nothing but oil changes, and a set of spark plugs every 100,000 miles. The transmission behind it, the 4T65E, is a proven 4-speed automatic that shifts smoothly and lasts as long as you change the fluid every 50,000 miles. Her LeSabre has now been running for 14 months. Total repairs in that time, 1 serpentine belt, and a set of front brake pads. That is it. She drives her kids to school, commutes 40 miles round trip to work, and has not called me once in a panic. When you shop for one, check the intake manifold gaskets. The 3800 Series 2 had a known issue with plastic intake gaskets that can leak coolant externally or internally from 100,000 to 150,000 miles. It is a $400 repair at any shop, and many of these have already had it done. If you see a receipt for that service, you are golden. Also, check the front strut mounts. They clunk around 120,000 miles and run about $300 to replace. If those check out, you have a government-rated 5-star car for the price of a set of tires on a new BMW. Number 4 is a car that was literally built for the government, the Mercury Grand Marquis. From 2003 to 2011, most people know the Ford Crown Victoria as the police car, but they forget that the Mercury Grand Marquis is mechanically the exact same vehicle with a nicer interior. Same body on frame platform. Same 4.6-liter modular 5.8. Same rear-wheel drive layout. Same bulletproof 4R75E 4-speed automatic transmission. The only difference is the Mercury got softer suspension tuning, a quieter cabin, and leather seats on most trims. And because Mercury is a dead brand, nobody is shopping for them. The NHTSA gave the Grand Marquis 5 stars in frontal crash protection for the driver and 4 stars for the passenger across the final generation. The structural rigidity of the Panther platform is legendary. Police departments ran Crown Victorias for 300,000 miles through curbs, potholes, and pursuit driving, and the frames held together. Your grandmother's Grand Marquis that did highway miles to the grocery store is going to be in even better shape. A retired postal worker brought me his 2007 Grand Marquis LS last year. He had bought it 5 years earlier with 98,000 miles for $3,200. When I saw it, the odometer read 214,000 miles. I put it on the lift expecting to find something, anything that needed attention. The frame was clean. The 4.6-liter V8 had perfect compression on all 8 cylinders. The transmission shifted like it had 50,000 miles on it. The only thing I replaced was a leaking rear main seal, which is a common wear item on high-mileage modular V8 engines, and costs about $500. He drove it home and is still driving it today. Current pricing on a clean Grand Marquis with under 130,000 miles is between $2,000 and $4,500. The same money gets you a 2009 Nissan Altima with a CVT transmission that will cost you $2,000 in repairs within 18 months. The Grand Marquis has a V8 rear-wheel drive and a real transmission. When you inspect one, check the AIR suspension, if equipped. Some LS trims had rear air springs that can leak around 120,000 miles. A conversion to coil springs costs about $300 and eliminates the problem permanently. Check the intake manifold for any coolant crossover leaks and look at the ball joints on both sides. Those are the only real wear points on these cars. Everything else is built like a bank vault. A contractor's wife came into my shop 2 winters ago looking for a safe daily driver for Minnesota winters. She had been quoted $14,000 for a used CR-V. I told her to look at a Legacy with all-wheel drive. She found a 2011 Legacy 2.5 i Premium with 108,000 miles for $3,800. Subaru's symmetrical all-wheel drive system is standard on every Legacy, not optional, not a premium add-on. Standard. It is one of the best all-weather traction systems ever engineered for a passenger car. That Legacy has gotten her through 2 Minnesota winters without a single stuck moment, and without a single mechanical issue beyond an oil change and a set of wiper blades. Reliable. The 2.5-liter boxer engine in these years is the FB25, which replaced the older EJ series. It uses a timing chain instead of a belt, which eliminates the expensive timing belt service that older Subarus were known for. It produces 170 horsepower, returns about 30 miles per gallon on the highway, and runs without drama for 200,000 miles when you keep up with oil changes. If this kind of content is helping you make smarter decisions, do me a favor and hit that subscribe button. I put out videos every week showing you the cars that actually deserve your money. Now back to the Legacy. The one thing to watch for is oil consumption. Some models from 2011 to 2014 with the FB25 engine had a piston ring issue that caused higher than normal oil consumption. Subaru extended the warranty on affected engines, and many have been repaired. Check the oil level on any test drive. If the oil is still full after 3,000 miles of driving, you are fine. Also inspect the CVT transmission fluid. These Legacy models use a Linertronic CVT, and it needs fluid changes every 60,000 miles. If it has been changed, the transmission will last. If it has not, budget $400 to do it immediately. Number 2. The Honda Accord from 2008 to 2012. The 8th generation Accord earned IIHS Top Safety. Pick every single year of its production run, and it scored 5 stars from NHTSA in frontal and side impact testing. The government literally told the American public this car is one of the safest sedans you can buy, and people still walk past it to buy a Chrysler 200. The 2.4-liter K 24 4-cylinder in the Accord is one of Honda's masterpieces. It uses a timing chain, not a belt. It has port fuel injection on most trims and no turbo. It produces 177 to 190 horsepower depending on the year. And it routinely hits 250,000 miles with nothing but oil changes and valve adjustments every 100,000 miles. A young teacher came into my shop a couple of years ago with $4,500 and a 30-mile commute. I found her a 2009 Accord LX with 131,000 miles for $4,200. She has put 40,000 miles on it since then. Total repairs were a front wheel bearing and a set of rear brake pads. She gets 33 miles per gallon on her highway commute, and she is not worried about her car a single time. Current market pricing on a clean 2008 to 2010 Accord 4-cylinder with under 140,000 miles is between $3,500 and $5,000. Compare that to a same-year Camry, which sells for $500 to $1,000 more because of the Toyota badge. Mechanically, the Accord is every bit as reliable. When you shop for one, check the power steering system. These Accords use an electric power steering unit that can develop stiffness or a whine at high mileage. It is fixable, but use it as leverage for price. Also, check the starter. The models from 2008 to 2010 have a starter that sits in a heat-soaked position near the exhaust manifold, and they can fail around 150,000 miles. A replacement runs about $350. If the car starts without hesitation, you are good. And here is number one, the car I would buy tomorrow if I had $5,000 and needed something to last me the next decade without a single sleepless night. The Toyota Camry from 2007 to 2011. The NHTSA gave the 6th generation Camry 5 stars in every single crash test category. 5 stars for frontal driver, 5 stars for frontal passenger, and 5 stars for side impact. The IIHS named it a top safety pick. The federal government of the United States essentially told the public that this sedan is one of the most structurally sound passenger vehicles on the road, and the used market priced it like a rental car return. A retired firefighter came to me 3 years ago. He wanted a car his daughter could drive through college. He had $5,000 and he did not want to spend a dime on repairs for 4 years. I told him to find a Camry with the 2.4-liter 2AZFE 4-cylinder. He bought a 2008 Camry LE with 119,000 miles for $4,700. His daughter just graduated. The Camry has 187,000 miles on it. Total repairs in 4 years, a water pump, and a set of front brake rotors. She drove it through 4 Midwest winters, 3 road trips, and daily campus commutes. The car never left her stranded, not once. The 2AZFE 2.4-liter 4-cylinder is Toyota's workhorse engine from this era. Timing chain, port fuel injection, 158 horsepower. It is not exciting, and that is the entire point. It was engineered to start every morning and run without complaint for decades. It gets 31 miles per gallon on the highway. The 5-speed automatic transmission behind it is Toyota's U250E, a unit so reliable that transmission shops barely see them. When they do, it is usually because the owner never changed the fluid in 200,000 miles. Current pricing on a 2007 to 2011 Camry LE 4-cylinder with under 130,000 miles is between $3,000 and $5,000. That is a 5-star government-rated vehicle with Toyota engineering and a proven 250,000-mile powertrain for less than a single repair bill on a modern German sedan. When you inspect one, check for oil consumption. Some 2007 to 2009 models with the 2AZFE had a piston ring issue that caused oil burning. Toyota extended the warranty to 10 years on affected engines. Check the oil level on the dipstick and ask if the repair was performed. If the level stays steady between changes, the engine is solid. Also inspect the front struts and the sway bar and links. Both tend to wear around 120,000 miles, and they cost about $400 combined to replace. So there it is, 5 cars the government crash tested, rated at the top of their charts, and the used market completely forgot about. The Buick LeSabre with its bulletproof 3800 V6. The Mercury Grand Marquis, built on the same platform the government trusted for decades. The Subaru Legacy with 5 consecutive years of top safety pick honors and standard all-wheel drive. The Honda Accord with Honda engineering and a perfect federal score. And the king of the list, the Toyota Camry. 5 stars across the board, and a powertrain that refuses to quit. None of these will impress anyone at a car meet. None of them have panoramic sunroofs or adaptive cruise control. What they have is a federal safety rating that proves they were built right, and a price tag so low it almost feels like the market made a mistake. If you want to see which sport utility vehicles earn the same kind of government ratings and can still be bought for pennies on the dollar, I made a video on that. It is right here. Over 20 years of turning wrenches has taught me one thing. The cars nobody is talking about are usually the ones worth buying. Like the video if it helped. Subscribe for more real car advice. Drive safe. Take care of your car and it will take care of you. I will see you in the next one.